Hello, I'm Micks Mowers, Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, a bit of an update what's going on. Do you remember I had a 17-inch Atco Balmoral SK? Well, not so long ago, a gentleman reached out to me and said that he'd like to do a deal with me rather than just sell the machine. He'd much rather do a deal. He wanted an Atco 17, but he also had an Atco Balmoral 20 and a 14 SK. So we negotiated, and I said to him, I'll do a deal with you, I'll even deliver it to you. So I took me and the old man went up to just north of Gloucestershire to go and pick up the two Atco Balmoral 20 and 14, and he took away my 17 and I gave him a little bit of money on top. So now he's got his 17 inch, which I hope he's very, very happy with. And I've now got an Atco Balmoral 20 and a 14, which I'm going to show you now. And I have just picked up two more mowers, one just this morning and one 2 days ago, to add to my fleet of growing lawnmower collections, and hopefully you'll like them. So yeah, just a sort of a walk around video, what we're doing, and I might do a quick little repair on one of the lawnmowers if I can fix it. If this is your first time in watching Micks Mowers and Mower Man, hit the old subscribe button and whack the old bell. Set notifications to all, that way you'll be told next time I upload another video. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty. Let's check out what I got in, what I've got, and what's just arrived. So you have to forgive me for wind interference. For some reason, we've got a lovely day today, but I am right on the south coast, and today is particularly blustery. So I've got here a rather nice looking 20-inch Atco Balmoral SK with a scarifier, and a 14-inch Atco Balmoral with a scarifier. Now the 14-inch originally did actually come with a Versacut as well. The Versacut has already gone. That didn't hang around for more than about half a day. The Versacut was gone. But these have just undergone the full Micks Mowers treatment. So these have had a new air filter, new spark plug, new pull cord, oil change, all the belts checked and what have you, a real good clean. It's even had the Micks Mowers touch on the front. Looks absolutely spanking. Okay, so it comes with a scarifier as well. And this one here is exactly the same. Another Micks Mowers touch there. That's all been done. Looks really, really nice. Really happy with how they both come out. But I would say there's something missing. And the bit that's missing, of course, is that this is not a full set. The full set would include an Atco Balmoral 17 SK. Well, funny you should say that, because at the top of the garden, I picked up 2 days ago this little beauty, of which is an Atco Balmoral 17 SK with no scarifier as of yet, but that should fit right in there. So as you can see, this Atco Balmoral is in need of the Micks Mowers touch. So now we have the full set. We have the 20, the 17 and the 14. All Kawasaki models. But the difference between the Micks Mowers touch and the no Micks Mowers touch is night and day. All three machines eventually will look all the same. But what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So the 17-inch does want a bit of work. I haven't already noticed there's a few little bits up with it. Although it runs, it doesn't run as well as perhaps it should do. But the 20, I think the 5L goes up. 20-inch, turn it on, bit of choke because they are cold. They all should, bit of Kawasaki, they all should start first pull. And if a Kawasaki doesn't start first pull, then there's something wrong with it. That fuel turned on. Let's turn that fuel on, Mick, that might help. So this is a 14. So this one is one that needs just a little bit of love, a little bit of help, because it isn't quite right yet. Just turn that fuel back on. We'll choke it. We'll turn it on. Give it some revs. See what it do. Oh no, it's going to start first of all. That's as high as it revs, so that's not quite right. See how the throttle's doing nothing? See that? That's a carburettor work. The cylinder works, the drive works, but the drive, I have noticed, has got a little tiny clip down here, which was holding the drive on, just there. So it needs a new little tiny red piece on the back of that drive to make the drive work. But it runs, it just wants a darn good clean. Let me try and fish that cable back in there again. It's just broken. I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it, and I'll do a video on how to repair the little red bit on there. So, one Atco 17, one Atco 14, and a 20, all in lovely condition. All the 17 will be by the time I finish it. I just want a 17-inch scarifier really for this. So I've got the complete set, which is lovely. But you know me, that's just not enough. On top of that, I have got one other item. So the next mower, which I have just picked up this morning, a bloke called Chris, he runs a lawn care company over in Chichester. He met up with me on Instagram and said his clients that he cuts grass for have got this, which is a Hayter Ranger 53 commercial grade bit of kit as well. I think he may have even serviced this bit of kit himself, I'm not quite sure, or he looked at it. But as you can see, it's in, for what it is, really, really, really good condition. Now, he said the problem with this machine is that it just will not rev up properly. It'll start, it'll run, but he just cannot get it to rev up to a point where you can say it's actually doing what it should be doing. So, should we have a quick little look at this one to see if we can't get it to do what it should do? Let me just fire it up for you. I have already had it running today. Not for very long though. In fact, I don't know how much fuel was in there. But it's really clean. Someone's really either looked after this or Chris has serviced it. Because the oil is fantastic. It's got a new plug in there. Let's give that 3 or 4 pumps. Dead man in. This has got multiple speed walking pace on it. Rabbit. So there you go. So that's revving, but it's not revving anywhere where it should be. So idle down, it'll idle up. It'll drive, but it's just not doing what it should be doing. I don't think the drive is working properly with regards to the multi-drive as well. That seems to be the same speed. So I don't think that's doing a lot, and it just sounds really, really bubbly. So, quick little inspection underneath here. Will it actually rev up? Let's have a look. Rev up if you actually interfere with the carburettor throttle linkage. If you just put your finger in there and just adjust it by hand, it will rev. So let's just take the cover off, have a little look, see what we can't do. Have we just fix this inside 2 minutes, and if we have, we'll be on a winner. If not, it'll have to go up on the bench, but we shall see. Okay, so I'm going to go for a quick little fix here, if it works. Now, undo 2 flatted bolts up the top here, or they're 10mm, there might be 8mm actually. 8mm on there? Yeah, 8mm. So either flathead or 8mm, and that will remove the air filter cover. We'll wind them off. Now, I think Chris has actually worked on this machine, I think. I'm not quite sure, I may be wrong, but it did come with half a litre of oil, and a load of carburettor bits. This I've got a new carb on here. Take the air filter off. It does smell very fuely. Look at that fuel on there, look. Now it's either excessively overfilled with oil, which is not going to help, or there's something else going on here. So the first thing I want to do is check the oil. Now the oil is clean. It's had a brand new service on this machine. Let's just see how much oil is actually in the machine. So screw in to test it. and it is slightly overfilled. It's very hard to tell because it all is that clean, but I would say it's just overfilled, not by a massive amount, okay guys, but it is just ever so slightly overfilled. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of oil out of this first off. Not a lot. It's probably overfilled by about 100 mil. Yeah, it is definitely overfilled. But 100% overfilled. Let's get a bit of oil out of there first. That's the first thing to do. Right, bit of oil out. Let's have another little test. See where we're sitting. And we're now sitting, we're just under the fill mark, okay? Just under. So I've got to put a little bit in. Yeah, we're about 3/4. So let me just put a little tiny dribble in, okay? So I want the machine to be happy. Best to have it on the right money. Now, to be honest, running a machine with not enough oil in it is going to do less damage than running it with way too much. But what I'm saying is, you should be at least 3/4 on the old dipstick, okay? 3/4 is not going to hurt it, but excessively overfilled, it definitely is. So we're about 3/4, so a little bit going in. I'm going to leave it to about there, and I'll test that again in a minute. Okay, just let that run down through. So just make sure your oil levels is absolutely correct, otherwise you'll be having issues. Now, I also want to double check that this throttle is doing what it should do, and we are all working there yet. We are. That's all working fine. See it all moving. It's all good. So it's had I'm sure it's had a brand new carb on here. It looks to be brand new. So let's now check that oil, see what that's doing. And now we're absolutely bang on the money. Absolutely where it needs to be. Okay. So that's good. So now what I'm going to do, I'm now going to fire this machine up and see what it's actually doing without the air filter on. It's not a necessity to have the air filter on just for testing. But just going to run it up, see what it's actually doing, and go from there. So I'm sure all my tools are all clear. So yeah, let's just start it up, see what's actually doing. A bit of fuel goes into the inlet, which you can see it is pouring in there. Onto full throttle. Give that a pull. See what's occurring. So as you can see, the machine runs, idles down, but it's not enough. What's that actually running at? I've got my tachometer here. $220, $250, somewhere in there. That's nowhere near right. So what I'm going to do is a manual adjustment. Now let me show you how I'm going to do that. Right, to do a manual adjustment, all I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this little tiny clip here forward by putting pressure on the spring. I'm going to bend this forward. Let's have a little look, see what difference that makes. Okay, so as you can see, a little tiny adjustment on this little throttle here now pushes those revs up to where they should be. But has that fixed it? Now what I will say to you is, yes, it has. In my opinion, what I've seen from these machines in the past is that when you put new carburetors on, this, that and the other, they've got all new linkages on there, new springs. Sometimes the control panel will actually fail. And by putting a bit of tension on that spring, just so you can get your RPMs up to around about 320, something like that, which is where we all need to be roughly. And it is rough. I can fine tune it later on. We now should have a machine which now will run at the correct RPM for what it should do. And hopefully, might have just picked this lawnmower up for cheap, and a little tiny tweak with a set of long nose pliers may have fixed it. Okay, has anyone seen my little Riley boy? I've not seen Riley boy all day. Ugh. Right, let's pick his bits up. Anyone seen my little Riley boy?
Hello.
Ah, there he is. Speakerphone, he will turn us up. Hello, Riley boy. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
So, hi, guys at home. So now, well, what happened was, I'll tell you because you weren't here. What happened was, where you been? Had you lunch?
Yes.
What did you have for your lunch?
Ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich.
Yeah.
What else? Cheese straw.
Yes.
Yeah. What else?
Babies.
Crispies.
Yeah.
And yogurt.
Yeah.
And yogurt. Cool.
What is the Mower name?
This is a Hayter 53 Ranger.
What's that name?
These are Atco bow morals. If that's Atco 14, say hi.
Hi.
Say Atco 17, say hi.
Hi.
Say Atco 20, say hi.
Hi.
Fantastic. So now, I think there's a bit more work to be done on this machine because I don't think the drive is working fully as it should do, because this is interchangeable speed and it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So I might have to get inside here, look inside here, or down the bottom, look at the pulleys, make sure it is actually doing something on the pulleys. But I don't think that's working properly. But now the machine, when it first came here 3 minutes ago, the machine would only just get over the RPM of about 2,200, something in there. So it's missing nearly a whole 1,000 RPM from somewhere. And I think all it is literally the little tiny spring on the top. It either lose tension, or most common cause is you're driving along on your mower here, pushing it along, and you push it into a hedge or a tree or a bush, and what happens is the bushes branches get stuck up inside there, and it pushes this little tiny metal bit just here. It pushes that forward or backwards, and it reduces the RPM. So I do know that Chris may have worked on this machine, and it's been doing his head in. And these guys who own the machine were looking at just to throw this machine away. This was going to end up down the tip. So apparently, hopefully, we may have fixed it. So let's give it some primes. Not that it should need it. My only thing is there, Riley boy. We'll put it onto full throttle. Now that should rev at quite a good pace now. Wants a new pull cord too. One more. Yeah, baby. As you can see, it sounds better already, but that drive is doing nothing. It's the same speed. So that's got to be looked at. But already, running lovely. Riley, do a dance. Do a dance. Dance. fixed it with a pair of long nose pliers. Okay, so I just had a quick little look. Now on this Hayter Ranger 53, so we've got a little tiny cover here. Right, that goes on there pretty much. 2 screws, that comes off. Now, here's your commercial variator in here with belts on, 2 belts on a variator. Now if I do this, right, that should take tension up on this little tiny arm just here. Okay, now if I move the lever, you can see it wants to move, but it actually can't. So that's why the drive is doing nothing. Okay, now I believe it to be a problem at this end, where the cable has come disconnected from this bit here. That's what I believe it to be. It may want a new cable, but a new cable to get this Hayter Ranger 53 driving as it should do, it's already running as it should do, I'll be well happy. So check out a video coming soon on how to fix the drive if your driver stops working or is stuck on your Hayter Ranger 53. I may have a video for you. So all in all, super happy. So there you go, one Hayter Ranger 53 now all running as it should do. As of yet, it's not driving as it should do, but I'm convinced it's either a new cable is required or just a cable fix or just a cable reattachment. Maybe the cable's just come out of its little tiny harness up the top there. You'll find out in the video to come out in the very, very near future. But all in all, thank you very much to my good friend Chris over in Chichester for hooking me up with his family who are going to throw this Hayter Ranger 53 down the tip instead for a very little amount of money. It's back at the Micks Mowers shack. It's now running as it should do. Just go get it driving. And the best part of it all, I don't have to service it. Brand new carburetor, air filter, all change, spark plug. It just wants a new pull cord. She's good to go. If you like the episode of Micks Mowers and Mower Man, then check out the old channel, hit the old subscribe button, whack the old bell.
Ding!
That way you'll be told next time we're on a video. We look forward to the next episode of Micks Mowers very, very soon. But to guys and girls, much more importantly, take it easy.